Welcome back to The Vocalist. Today we are listening to Led Zeppelin again. Actually, this whole week is all about Stairway to Heaven. Today we're listening to the OG, and at the end of the week we're going to watch Heart's performance of the same song. So, here we go.
There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold, and she's buying the stairway to heaven. And when she gets there, she knows if the stores are all closed, with a word she can get what she came for. She's buying the stairway to heaven. There's a sign on the wall, but she wants to be sure, 'cause you know sometimes words have two meanings in a tree.
Okay, I know this is a long one. I also recognize this is an experience, so if you don't like pausing, go watch the original. We're going to be talking throughout just because he does so many great things, and I feel that I think with this piece in particular, the writing and the storytelling are just it's insane. It's so magical. We're going back to the beginning. Who am I kidding? Here we go. Like, with just guitar, it's got this really nice ambiance, this sort of brooding, mysterious effect. But then for me, that just takes me to a completely different place, a completely different land of mystery and magic and all that, just because that sort of folk sound really lends itself, or it sort of gives the impression of a story, of a fable, of something whimsical happening. And so this introduction, I think, is just, I don't know, I think no matter where you are, whether you're in the car, you're at a concert, it puts you in a really cool zone. Melodic variation, also very cool.
There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold, and she's buying to heaven. And when she gets there,
first phrase, I feel, or first line, I feel that there's just this great movement in his vocal phrasing. And then he starts to articulate a little bit more. He inserts more space, more silence. It's just it's a sudden shift, but it really helps you focus on the text.
She knows if the stores are all closed, with a word she can get what she came for. Ooh, and she's buying the stairway to heaven. There's a sign on the wall, but she wants to be sure, 'cause you know sometimes words have two meanings. In a tree by the brook, there's a songbird who sings.
That little it's just the tiniest differences from line to line, phrase to phrase that make this storytelling so captivating.
In a tree by the brook, there's a songbird who sings. Sometimes all of our thoughts are misgiven, and I think you can see that.
Again, even though they're playing together, it almost feels not like a round, but you know how it's just a little staggered, and so you're hearing these melodies layered on top of one another, but they're not completely in sync, and it's just, I don't know, if you miss something in the guitar you can pick it up. It's very cool. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be an interesting one.
You can see that.
Anytime he says "and," you would think one would get tired of it because it's just constantly happening at the beginning of so many of these lines. But it is so... I just love the sound. I love the sound of his voice, period. I love the consistency in his tone, in the quality of every note, regardless of where we are in his range. I feel that there is this beautiful through line. I'm sure I mentioned this in the first reaction, but he's got so much bite in his sound, and yet he utilizes this gorgeous warmth, like a little bit of separation of the chords. We get a little bit more air that flows through. So there's no tension. It's not like he's, gearing up for every high note. It just flows out of him so beautifully. And when you hear him say, and, that little glottal onset, I think it's very unique, because it would be easy when you have to repeat those words over and over and over to sort of get lazy, or to try and smooth out that onset to prevent fatigue. But he just keeps going with it. I love it.
Goes laughter. Does anybody remember laughter?
In the word change, how much depth he has access to that he doesn't utilize as frequently as some of that forward placement, and yet it all still sounds so rich. But then those little moments where he inserts some added color I think those are just beautiful.
Yes, there are 2 bars you can go by, but in the long run, there's still time to change the road you're on. I hope so.
Something so special about his voice. They're just little, I don't know if it's just my ears or the way it's resonating with me, or if obviously I know his voice resonates with a lot of people, but compared to some of the other reactions I've done, I say this all the time, well, not all the time, but when this moment happens, there are just certain singers, I don't know what it is, they tug at something in your DNA, and you just can't, I don't know, it's just a very different experience. And he is one of those singers. There are just these little moments of texture, of clarity. I mean, on top of that, this particular performance, I am so impressed with the caliber of this performance, just the quality in sound, in timing, in just overall professionalism. I know we can't say anything's perfect, but you can get pretty darn close, and I think they did with this one. Lies. All of the tiny sounds that we got just from that shift in vocal track shape, because it was kind of a diphthong there.
Your stairway lies, I'm whispering.
vibrato at the end. I have goosebumps. Again, oh golly, I know nothing about, I mean, I know a little bit about guitar, but nothing to be dangerous. So, and I certainly can't play. So watching, I don't even know how to verbalize this. I like how we got to see that entire display of skill, and then leading or following that, he comes in with this incredible mixed voice, and it's just, I'm gonna have to collect my thoughts. We'll regroup at the end. See, I have no words. Let me get that transition one more time.
However stairway to heaven.
Okay, I've collected my thoughts. I'm pretty certain one of the biggest contributing factors to my just being enamored with his vocals is the relaxation that he incorporates in his vocal production. More often than not, as we go higher, most singers, we utilize more tension. And it's very challenging not to, because when you're dealing with more air pressure, you're dealing with more stretch on the chords, kind of the default for a lot of people is to put more press into their sound, into the chords, so that they can sustain those high notes with a little bit of added security. When you don't have quite as much press, or even if you allow a little air to flow through, that's when we get more texture. But it's possible to kind of find a happy balance. One great trick that I'll occasionally incorporate, even though I know sometimes we don't like to do vocal fries super high, when you do a vocal fry, that texture is allowing some air to flow through, and it's a great way to just check in and say, ooh, am I really tightening and tensing, or am I allowing some relaxation at the top? His whole vibe is so chill and so mellow, and when you see him in any part of his range, his bass is so relaxed, and it really, and I know I mentioned this the last time, just how well supported it seemed everything was from his abdomen and not in the larynx, not with facial muscles and jaw tension and whatnot. And I think because he's able to support so much from his midsection and really keep things agile in his larynx, he creates some of the most incredible sounds. Yes, we have genetics that play a role in the tones we're able to create, but it's really tricky to get that kind of release at the top of your range. And I think, I don't know, am I gonna say this? I think he might be one of the only singers I've come across who does that consistently. I think I've heard so many singers who are able to keep so much relaxation in their bodies and in their voices as they ascend, but I don't think I've heard anyone do that with the consistency that he does. I don't know, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I say as always, I've only watched one other performance, but they're just so mesmerizing to watch. Again, the caliber, the professionalism, the musicianship, the skill, there's so much packed in there, and yet to watch them be so cool and calm and relaxed during the process is so captivating. So that is it for today. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we are listening to Heart perform the same song next time, so stay tuned. As always, thank you for watching with me, and hopefully I will see you next time.